Alright guys, welcome back to a new video. I wanted to share with you guys my long wheelbase MT410 build. I wanted to kind of give you guys a rough overview of what parts you need to build one for yourself and a few reasons why you should consider building one. So, reason number one why I would build one, or why I did build one, is growing up, when I first got into RC cars, like Savages were all the rage, right? And when the Savage XL came out, it was like amazing, you know, it was just such a departure from the old trucks. It had the longer wheelbase, it had the bigger tires, bigger motor, etc. But I just remember like that long wheelbase was such a nice driving truck. And fast forward 10 years when I got back into RC again and I looked into Tekno and I bought an MT410. It was a short wheelbase monster truck and it's tons of fun to drive. You can do crazy backflips, you can do wheelies all the time, which is fun. It's definitely like a good hold my beer, watch me do a triple backflip into a tree, but I still yearn for like that older feeling of a long wheelbase, a more precise, more tame, nice driving truck. So that led me to wanting to turn my MT, which is a super tunable, awesome truck, into something longer wheelbase to make it drive better. So my initial plan was, oh, I'm gonna buy an ET48, which I did, 2.0. And then I bought all the MT shock towers, bumpers, body mounts, the HPI body. I bought everything to turn that into a long wheelbase kick-ass monster truck. I didn't do my research, and you cannot put any of that stuff on a 2.0. It's not compatible. So, fast forward again, back to the MT. I realized, after doing my research, I still do have the ability to extend this truck, which, as you can see, it is now extended. So, I got off on a tangent there. The point is, reason one, long wheelbase, more precise, better feeling overall truck. You can hill climb better, it jumps more controllably, it drives better at speed. It's just a nicer driving truck. Reason number two for doing it, it looks better. When guys have those, you know, short wheelbase and you have massive tires on these things, they look kind of goofy. This thing has cool proportions. It looks really badass. So reason number three, it's cool to take different OEM parts from different models and build your own creation, right? I think Tekno should have maybe built this truck this way because it's a parts bin truck anyway, but they didn't, so that gave us the creative freedom to do what we want. And I really like being able to mix and match different models and make one cool truck with OEM parts. So I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's more reasons, but like that's the gist of why I wanted to do the conversion. So, like I was saying, I bought all the parts for that and it didn't work out. So I figured it out how to do it on this truck, and I know I'm not the first one to do this. Many people have done it on the forums, but not a lot of people have information on YouTube on how to do it. So thought I'd share with you guys the parts you need, and it's super simple. You need, I think it's four things basically. You need a body, chassis, a different rear chassis brace, and a rear drive shaft. That's it. 4 components. Turn your MT into an extended MT. So as far as the body goes, you are a little limited on options. There isn't a lot of long wheelbase trucks anymore. I know some people are using, I think, Arma Creighton bodies and then trying to make them look like a Truggy. I'm not a fan of that look. They kind of look toyish. Proline, I think, has like an F550 body and like a top kick body that some people have used, but they're a little on the shy side. So that leads me to this. When I was growing up, like I said, I used to have HPI Savages, so the XL body was a no-brainer to me. I know it's a tough body. It used to come on like a really heavy nitro truck and used to have a big hole cut in it right here for the motor, right? And it was still strong. Mind you, those trucks had a roll bar, but this body is still available, which is surprising with HPI, but you can still get this body. You can buy it clear, obviously, because you can see I painted this one. I'll have the part number on the screen here for that. They're about $62 or $63 Canadian, so pretty fair for a body. As you can see, I have reinforced mine in a few different areas right there as well. So we'll see how it stands up. I'll update you guys on that after I bash the truck more. Second thing you need is the chassis, like I mentioned. So you cannot use an ET48 2.0 chassis. You need to have an ET48.3 chassis. They are still available from Tekno, even though that truck's discontinued. You can still get the chassis. So I'll have the part number up on the screen here for you guys. The next thing you're going to need is the rear chassis brace right here. So the MT one is very short and stubby, so it will not work for the new chassis. You can see the difference there, like it's not even comparable. So I'll have a part number for that as well. Unfortunately, you can't buy this brace by itself. You have to buy the brace set. So you get this brace, you get the center brace, and the front brace, I believe. I think you get all three for about $25. Obviously, you only need to use this one. The other thing I don't have the part number for, I'll get it for you guys and put it up on the screen and post here, but the ET brace requires 2 screws right here. Your MT only has 1 screw, so in your kit you're going to be shy 1 screw. If you're like me, you probably have other Tekno models or other stuff with lots of screws laying around. So I was good, I didn't have to buy anything, I just used a spare screw I had. If you guys don't have that, I will include the part number like I said. So the next thing you're going to need is a drive shaft. As you can see here, that is your MT410 drive shaft. You can compare it to my thumb, it's very small. If you put it next to the TRUGGY drive shaft, you can see the difference. So you have 2 options with this. Also still available from Tekno. You can get a steel one, which is about $25. Part number here. And you can get the aluminum one, which is about $10 more, and it's super, super light. So this drive shaft, which is what, like 4 inches long compared to this one, which is like 1 inch long. The aluminum one is actually lighter than this one, even though it's that much bigger. So if you have the extra $10 in your budget, I would recommend doing the aluminum drive shaft. Now, the other thing I did, well, a few tuning things I'll throw down your guys' ear holes here if you are interested. With going with a longer chassis, it allows you to do a heavier diff fluid. Because if you go to a super heavy diff fluid on a short chassis truck, it's going to be doing wheelies like crazy. It's going to be super hard to control. But with the long wheelbase, it allows you can go to that heavier diff fluid and then the truck still drives nicely. You don't get crazy wheelies or uncontrollableness. You can reap the benefits of the heavy diff fluid, but not its demerits. So I went to 500K in the center diff, which greatly helps this thing. It doesn't diff out anymore. You can climb really steep hills and it just keeps on pulling. So I would definitely recommend that if going to the long wheelbase. The other thing I would recommend, again up to your discretion, but I deleted the front sway bar. So because the truck's longer, in an effort to help to get it turn, I took the sway bar out so that it does get more body roll, which sounds counterintuitive, but the extra body roll helps with weight distribution and it helps you get more weight on whatever front tire you need it, and it plants the truck a little better to help it turn. Plus, when you keep the rear sway bar, it helps that rear rotate. So far, I have not missed having it. I have not run the truck a ton since doing the conversion, but from what I can tell, I'm really enjoying it. That's all I'd really do for tuning. So I'm still running like the factory front and rear diff fluids. Yeah, that about says it, but I don't know, let me know what you guys think about the extended chassis. Like I said, I know I'm not the first one to do it. Many others have. But what do you guys think about it? I think it looks awesome, I think it performs awesome, and I think this is the way Tekno should have sold the truck. So if If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer any insight. And yeah, see you guys in a future video where we're bashing this thing and testing this HPI body's durability. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. One more thing I wanted to mention quick is pricing. I know I'll have the part numbers listed and you guys can look it up yourselves, but if you were going to buy all 4 components and do this yourself, brand new, you're looking at about $300 Canadian, which seems pretty steep. But if you parts hunt, try and find things used. I mean, other than the body, obviously, probably going to buy that new. But if you can try and find a used chassis, like someone who's gone to an M2C and still has a stock chassis, or someone who's bought an aluminum drive shaft, you can maybe find their steel drive shaft, that type of thing. If you can source this stuff used or on eBay or whatever, you can definitely do it cheaper. So I'll share with you guys, just for transparency, what I paid for mine. So I paid $100 for my chassis, my drive shaft, and my rear brace. I bought those together off the same gentleman for $100. Screaming deal. So thanks to him for that. And then with the body, you call it 65 bucks with some paint, taxes, etc. Let's call it 180. So I was able to take my MT from a short wheelbase with that body down there and this chassis, which, you know, she's seen better days, into this beast for under $200. So yeah, happy hunting and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks again for watching.